Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having just about as a phenomenal day as I am right now. So excited that our War Clans of Roblox is currently going on. We got people a part of it, and we got people just fighting back and forth, arguments, throwing punches at screens. I'm sure we've had plenty of rage quitters, and we all know who those people are, but keep it to yourself. I've had a phenomenal time today raiding, defending, and all the other jazz. As many as you as many of you Robloxians has as well. And honestly, I think this is off to a great start. We have 2 more weeks of this, and I'm enjoying it thoroughly. So let's kind of move into what's going on and what this is. Many people are calling this War 5, as in there's just about every war clan of Roblox involved in this just basic big battle between two different forces, which is the egalitarian forces and the proponents of liberty. I just have to say, I hope I pronounce both of those right, or I'm going to hear it in the comment section. So just a little role play and kind of ideas of what's going on, stuff like that. TEF is for a kind of more strong government, and a government that is run just kind of with an iron fist and stuff like that, where you really don't have room to say it. And then you also have the proponents of liberty, who kind of favor the lesser of society, where you have less of a government interaction and stuff like that. And we'll get into just talk about those a little bit later with our interview coming up with Steam Sport. And honestly, this day has been phenomenal so far. I have to say, I'm giving a round of applause to Steam Sport and all our staff who are putting this on. I'm having a thoroughly good time, and I'm sure everyone else is as well. And so basically what this video is going to provide you with just some information that's going on in the war and what you need to keep your eyes out for and stuff like that. But without further ado, I'm actually going to go ahead and talk about both the forces that we have going in and just a little bit more in depth. So TEF, otherwise known as the Egalitarian Front, is a coalition that believes in the ideology of order. That they'd like governments to impose laws and to make sure everything is equal, kind of like communism. Looks good on paper, but not anywhere else. But of course, this is roleplay, and of course, we're kind of going in with it and kind of just going along with it. So TF is comprised of, I'd like to say, a lot of the super and like mega clans of Roblox. Really, the groups of Roblox that everyone knows and just absolutely huge and stuff like that. Just to name off a few, we have Vortex Security. We have the Chivalrous Dominance. We also have Fear, First Encounter, Assault, Recon, TRA, the Robloxian Army, UAF as Urban Assault Forces, and many others fighting on this side of TEF. And these are the large mega groups that make it happen and really just put Roblox in fun because, you know, it's just such a huge group and they just try as best as possible to keep people involved and see what else they can do. Really looking forward to seeing this group and what they can do. And now, moving on. Slight thing to mention, TEF is using UAF Fort Coopervich as their home base as they continue this war. Just keep that in mind. And then now moving on to the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we have the proponent of liberty. This coalition believes in the ideology of liberty. They'd like the government to be minimal and allow people to make their own decisions. So, some people that make up proponent liberty are, but not limited to, the Robine, Nightfall Clan. Who else do we got here? I'm looking at them right now. Starlight Corporation. And last but not least, the Vixity Legion. And now, of course, we have plenty of others that compete in this as well, such as X101st and many others. But those are just a few of who all's incorporated into the proponent of liberty. Now, the proponent of liberty is using... Are you ready? JC Fort Fang's old fort. And in fact, both of these forts have kind of been revamped and redone to kind of make it as best as really as even as possible for both these groups to go ahead and kind of just make it as easy as possible for them either to win a raid or kind of have a raid defense. How these raids works is you have 16 minutes or 1,000 seconds to go ahead and defend or raid a fort. And as soon as it gets to that end timer, that's a win at that base, and it moves on. Raid wins are the way to win, and we'll be moving into a final count at the end of the night, as we have 30 more minutes in Central Standard Time to go ahead and kind of wrap up the day. And at that point in time, we'll be done. And it is very, very quiet on the war fronts right now. In fact, just one person on both places. Quite possibly people just editing them real quick, getting them ready for tomorrow's competition. But this is day one. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Steam Sport, who has kind of been the person that's leading this up and putting this all together. And honestly, doing a phenomenal job so far. And as he's mentioned after the fact, he continues to learn and basically knows what Roblox expects and stuff like that. And it continues to change up. So without further ado, here is Steam Sport. I'm here with otherwise known as Steam Sport. I also like to kind of think of him as Emperor Palpatine and Darth Sidious at the exact same time, leading up what people are calling RoWar 5. So kind of exciting for you and whatever else. Got anything to mention on it? So why, first off, why the RoWar? Why did you kind of want to cause an all-out battle?
Um, so initially, the Agent 008 started posting threads after someone stated that they would like to see a basically mediated fight, kind of. And well, the agent went ahead and started PMing plans and kind of getting it together. And I got the models of the games and created the groups and kind of started looking at the fort. Uh, the main idea was just, well, it's a big thing, and I guess I thought it would just be fun. I mean, it's been fun, stressful, but fun.
Yeah, I can understand such a big event that are hosting hundreds of thousands of Robloxians across this internet right now and just trying to get everything organized and stuff like that. Personally, for me, participating in this has been quite exciting. Um, so, how'd you come up with the names? TEF and POL, how'd that come about?
Um, who was it? I think it was Commander Exalted who stated the names. I'm 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 fading on the names, but we just suggested we'll ask for two names, and the basic idea was to have them centered around um basic ideologies. So F is laws and restrictions create order and control, and POL is uh, self government, basically. So if you want to put it into politics terms for Americans, it would be the definition of a Democrat and I guess a libertarian Republican style. I mean, POL isn't really like super rich background or anything. They just they're kind of the underdog basically, and they want self liberty for themselves.
Awesome, very
So
cool. And so I have also seen, especially at TEF's fort, we have basically kind of a I don't know what you'd call it, a bear in a suit, kind of a role play right behind the gate controls. Anything to mention about that?
I didn't personally add it, but UEF. So like the so UAF is known for being communist. Ben Blue era, if anyone remembers that. I
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't in it then, but they're known for being communists. And Korpovich is a retro game, basically. And I think it was the agent actually that added it in, and the bear is basically a symbol of communism. I know.
All right, I saw that and kind of chuckled. I was like, nice. And obviously, we do have the little quartermasters running around JC's fort still. Personally, challenges. What is making this so rough for you right now?
Um, bugs popping up. We've had some issues with lag switching actually. Well, legitimate lag switching.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. I think that's all a kind of a common theme we're seeing in Roblox right now is that people are picking up this. Actually, we have someone in the studio picking up this stuff to do and stuff like that. It's kind of unfortunate, but hopefully it'll patched and we'll be good to go. You
Yeah,
are you rooting for a side? Is there just a side that you're just all out? You know, this side has absolutely got to win. My money's on this side, and if this side doesn't win, then I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life.
I'm voting for WarCore. Yep,
All right, all right. And
yep.
any last minute things to mention, say at all? We have links.
Yeah. So no, I just hope everyone has fun. Really, is all. Uh, so far, you will trudged ahead really hard. Um, lack in activity, they pick up with a lot of skill, but they need to balance out defenses and raids more. Um, that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, and the current score right now at 10:56 p.m. Central Standard Time is POL is currently leading with 4 raids above TEF. Alrighty, Steam, I really appreciate it. I think this is an outstanding job so far, and I believe everyone's having an outstanding job with it. So, kind of a quick round of applause from my end of the screen. I really appreciate you putting this together, and outstanding job.
You.
Alrighty, so you can go ahead and go follow Steam Sport on Twitter. Go ahead and search him Steam Sport, or you could go also as well at War Clans of Roblox, all one word, and go ahead and search him up, give him a follow. He's got Discord, he's got all the forums that you need to know, he's got the link for who's winning the war and stuff like that. Go ahead and go check him out on Twitter. And so I'm going to do a quick recap of the day. So the day started off and really, TEF kicked it into high gear, winning a total of 14 raids up until POL finally took their first win. And even with that, TEF continued to kind of pound it in, but finally, POL just kind of had enough of that and kind of kicked it into high gear. And currently leading our code with 1 minute left for the Central Standard Day Zone for me. We have the leader for day one and winner of day one for the War Clans of Roblox, RoWar 5. The winner for day one is POL. POL leads by 4. They're currently at 24 raid wins with POL, or not POL, excuse me, with TEF coming in just at 20 in behind. So it's kind of interesting that currently quality is doing better than quantity, as most of the war clans on the TEF side are war clans and mega war clans such as Fear VS, such as I've mentioned at the beginning, many that people are very familiar with and are well knowledgeable of. So currently, POL is winning just by 4. This is still anyone's game. I don't know if you'd get to a point to where just be totally outrageous, where one group just absolutely demolishes another. We have the pros, which the pros and cons are both for TEF. It would be the pros would be that you have so many members, many of which may not be qualified or may not be the absolute best fighters, but you're able just to pop into a server and just the sheer number of people are just willing to overwhelm those minimum of 9 defenders being at both forts. And then on the pull side of it is obviously you have quality. You have good people willing to fight and absolutely just like demolishes. So you'll probably be able to fill a server maybe with a couple of clans, but not fill several servers, which the TEF side is capable of. So that's the only downside for POL is they just don't have numbers, but they do have that quality effort. And currently, quality is winning this war. So you can go ahead and follow me at Froggy22 on Twitter. I'll be tweeting about this and kind of saying where we're at and that jazz. and triumphs and stuff along those lines. I'm dying at my own jokes. That is what happens at very late nights. Tomorrow, go ahead and tune in tomorrow, and we'll be talking to some war departments on TEF side and kind of seeing their intake, seeing what they can do to improve and hopefully win back and come back for a day 2 win tomorrow. Best of luck to all of you out there. Let it know and let it know. Let it know. Let it know. Let me know what crew you're voting for. What crew you're voting for. What crew you're going for. What group you think's gonna win it. TEF or POL. Let me know on the bottom what clan you're a part of. What's your rank? And go ahead and let us know. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Looking forward to these interviews tomorrow. Hopefully. Go ahead and let me know. Also, send me a PM if you're a high rank and you want to talk about what your group's doing and stuff like that in this Road War. That'd be sweet. And sick nasty. All right, so until next time, I'll check you guys out tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll see you back. All righty, bye-bye.